Look, I picked up an Elegoo Mars Pro 2. Or is it 2 Pro? Got a messy workbench, but here we go. Taking the lid off, and we will get it all set up with fingerprints and everything. Let's go. I always like to plug these in. Okay, this fan's gonna take getting some used to. He is loud. Not as loud as this dude over here. Yeah, you. Talking about you. So step 1, complete. Step 2, powered up. Step 3, insert the build platform. It's all the way down, dude. And there should be like, step 2.5, raise the build platform, because that ain't gonna work. Okay, without any help, let me just dig around in settings here. And nope. Tools. Aha. Manual. That looks right. Up a bit, shall we? Oh, you are slow. All right, catching about a year. Okay, I raised it up 60 millimeters. How do I know that? Because I had to push up 6 times. And here we are. So now the build plate will fit on there. First time. It's my first time, be gentle. There you go. And a hair. I can tell this printing is gonna go off great. Okay, overall these aluminum parts are pretty solid. Okay, the next thing it wants me to do is loosen these two right here. After tightening this down, nice and snug. I mean, this, even with just the lead screw and just the one linear rail here, still feels pretty solid. But that's just feel. Who knows how it prints. Okay, so let's loosen these guys. Next step. I have a messy workbench. No, you have a messy workbench. Bag of tools. I'm assuming it's the big one. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Those are in there pretty good. There appears to be a film on the bottom of this print thing. I'll take it off and show you in a minute after I get her calibrated. Pardon the back of my hand here. Oh, there she goes. So just enough to get her loose and goose. Okay, and these screws they got Loctite on them or something. They're pretty tight. Okay, so according to the manual here, I'm supposed to find an A4 size piece of paper. I suppose that's very important. A hand, which looks like to have a glove on it, and liking Facebook posts. Then, first, please fasten number 1, the front one. Then fasten number 2, the back, while I'm guessing putting pressure down. Please peel this LCD cover protector off before printing. And I think I'll do it before leveling, because that probably helps or hinders leveling. I don't know. And here he comes. Oh yeah. Watcha. There we go. And now I've got a little measuring thing for a piece of paper size. So let me go track down an A4-ish size piece of paper. Okay, I found an A4. I used a cover of a Guitar Center magazine. Hopefully Guitar Center won't mind. This goes in there like so. This is highly scientific. Then, according to the old manual, move the printer to 0 by pressing wrench, manual move, then this little house guy. So, coming on down. Make sure you do this after the bolts up there have been undone. And here it comes. I swear, this is the most lightning fast printer I've ever seen. You are just a speed demon, Mars Pro 2. There we go. My big problem here is, okay, according to this step, it says make sure it's in the center position. Dude, you had me put a big paper down here. I can't even see the screen now. I don't know if it's skewed. You need to rework this calibration system. It's whack. Let's do what they say, though. So it's been homed. Let's home it again. Just to be on the safe side. There we go. Just homed once. Now, with one hand, press and tighten this one first. It literally says that. You have to tighten this one first. I am pressing and tightening. Then we will fasten the other one. Pressing again. And tightening up. And this is kind of in the way now. So I see why they gave you an Allen key with a ball end on it. So you don't have to come straight at this one. Okay. They don't give any torque specs, so I just torqued it down to Jeremiah spec. Okay, then they give Mars mission NASA rules for calibration. They are, if the paper is only a few resistance when pulling out, the have to be A4 paper, the Z-axis should be moved up a distance of 0.01 millimeters. Or vice versa, if it's too hard to pull out, pull it up a bit. So let's see. It's pretty tough. It comes out. But how do I know what is too much and what is too little? There's no torque spec on this. The heck? Fancy. Okay, and then it actually says nothing about this protective film on the bottom of the build plate, whether I was supposed to take that off or not. Unless I missed it. So let me look through the instructions. Okay, user manual is silent on this issue. So, for the most part, I've never seen plastic on a build plate before, so I'm actually going to remove it. But let me Google first. Let me ask Dr. Google. Hold on. Okay, according to Professor Google, yes, you have to take the plastic off. So now I got to recalibrate. It really feels like this is pretty on there, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be taking this off or not. Just according to the very limited research I found, yes, take it off. And I'll update this part of the video if I learn otherwise in the future. Tighten her down. And do the whole janky calibration system again. Guitar Center, here we go. That's in there. Next I need to loosey-goosey. Click. I don't like that. This seems like that one wasn't even in. Good thing I redid this. Okay, so next this goes down with the home down here. You're going to home the Mars 2 Pro. I wonder why they call it Mars. Because it takes forever to get anywhere. All right. Home it again, just to be on the safe side. And press down rather firmly in the center and lock it in place. I'm going to lock the sidebar in there. This time I'm going to do it this short way instead. All right, that's better. So now we do the old Calislide, our custom A4 paper out. I think that came out pretty easily. And I think we're good to calibration. So let's send her to set my 0 point. Hold on. Remember reading something about this in the old manual. Press back once, then set Z equals 0. I'm a programmer, so I like that. Okay, set this position as Z equals 0. Continue. Confirm, not continue. That's weird. Confirm. All right, so she's set up. Go back into manual move. Make sure it's on 10, then go up. Okay, camera crashed. Something about this build plate is a little off kilter this way, so it's not perfectly aligned, and hopefully that won't be a big problem. Because you can't see a darn thing when you got a leveling paper in there. Again, bad system. All right, let's go up a bit. Very, very Mars Pro 2 speed. Okay, we're going to need to test the UV light. To do that, we go to back, exposure, 15 seconds. Let's do 10. And check and see if our screen works. All right, let's look for rectangle. Let's try press next. Looks like it'll work. Okay. So one thing I like about this manual, it says, plug in the USB to your printer, wear your mask and gloves. Wear your mask and gloves, people. You only have one set of lungs. Oh, this tank's got protective film on the bottom too, so let's get that off. Feels like a brand new phone. Okay, replace the tank. Cast aluminum. Pretty fancy. There we go. Put the little baby screws back in. I mean, other 3D printers are making fun of you, dude. Okay. She's on there, and I'll do that last. Next, I need to add the gasket that everyone loves to hate on. So hopefully this makes an airtight seal. That's the idea. Or an error-tight seal. I don't think you can come up with airtight around this printer design. Goes on like so. And it is very wiggly. Let's try to wiggle around. I have this same sort of lippy thing on my big 3D printer, but my gasket has these little metal rings inside that just squeeze against the top of the tank. It stays on pretty well that way. I got a gasket before that didn't do that. It didn't have the little things similar to this one, and it kept coming off like no other. Maybe Elegoo knows something I don't about this style. Okay, she's on there. All right, time to check the fit of the gloves. Ow. And whether the gloves work with the LCD screen. That's important. Do they? They do! Yay! Awesome. Okay, time to glove and mask up. With provided masks that come with some COVID. Free of charge. Okay, all masked up. And these masks are terrible. You shouldn't be using these kind of masks. You should be using, hold on. We should be using something like this respirator, which actually filters the air out. That one's a bit dirty, so I won't be using it. I use it for construction. On the thumb drive here, we have under print, we got a folder called Elegoo Mars Pro Rock Model for print. And, oh, sorry, Rook, not Rock. I need glasses. This screen is tiny. But actually, unlike other printers, it actually gives you a picture of what the printer model looks like if it's sliced on Chi2Box. So that's cool. So it's a Rook _Rook CTB file. And it also provides an STL file of the same Rook for reslicing if you want to do that. So we've got our resin. We should mix up. So I'm using Rapid UV printer resin, gray, from Monoprice. Don't particularly like this brand. Came at a good value. Resin pour. One more drip. There it is. Okay. Let's wait for these bubbles to subside. All right, so we're gonna go, after moving the tray back up, we'll go to prints. The USB thing is starting to blink. And it remembered where I was last. I didn't have to go back into that one folder. Cool. So we'll try the Rook. And it gives me a picture of the Rook. And I believe it's going to be 2 Rooks from this picture. I don't know. And this is a testing print that came with the printer. So it's sliced, pre-sliced on this. And so I'll use this one, test it out, then slice it myself and reprint, just to make sure I know what I'm doing with the slicer. The slicer is the Elegoo slicer, which is Chi2Box. So let's press play, shall we? There we go. Gives you the percentage done, hours, minutes, layers, 1,000 layers. And there goes the build platform into the abyss. That's really red. Yummy. And bubbles. Okay, we should be exposing here in just a second. Yep, she's exposing. You can hear the power draw on the fans when it's exposing. So you can tell that UV light down there has got to be at least 200 watts. So one thing I did notice is every time this thing runs a new layer, it's pretty quick too. Layers are pretty dang quick. It accesses the USB drive. So make sure Do you mind? I'm trying to shoot a video here. So make sure you have a good quality USB drive that can handle a lot of read writes. Or a very long print might fail right in the middle because the USB died. Looks like they printed. 3 hours later. So it comes with this thing. 45 degreer thingy. So it's a little plastic injection molded piece. Take that off, put that on, and this plugs into it. And allows the resin to drain back into the tank. Nice. Demodeling is always my favorite part. A few tricks usually work. Next print is my own slice from the newest version of Cheeto Box, and it's a Baby Yoda, otherwise known as the child print. Okay, confirm that the file is good. Just need to print it, and for some reason the preview wasn't showing up completely, but now it is. Now I got the full Baby Yoda laying down, taking a cat nap, ready to be printed. So here we go again. Get you a close up of these models. Oh wait, there's a helicopter flying over my house. Hold on. Okay. So the detail on this printer is pretty amazing. I don't know if you can see that. But the text is readable and it's ultra fine. Perfect. Resin, printer, torture, piece, make. That's what it says. With a semicolon. And everything, every letter is produced perfectly. It's great. So this is the model. Both of these, they print at the same time. They're identical, as far as I can tell. Print with the shipped file that comes on the USB stick for the Mars 2 Pro. And they print perfectly. It looks like they're about a 3-second layer time and about a 40 to 35 second first layer. And both these print together, they print vertically, and they took about 2.5 hours to print. So these two pieces printed vertically on my other printer would have taken somewhere around 6 hours. So the Mars 2 Pro is fast. I like it so far. That's one of the main reasons why I got it. Here's the second print that I did. I sliced it myself and it looks pretty great. The little shiny bits are me not taking the solvent off correctly. You can see some of the layer lines in the print. It was printed at 0.05 millimeter layer height at 2.5 seconds per layer. Pretty astounding, pretty fast. And it was printed laying down like this. It's translucent resin, so you can see some of the supports on the inside of the hollowed out model. Added a hole in Cheeto Box as the slicer and added supports. So overall the model is pretty flawless, except for when you get back here. He's got a flat spot on the back of him here and here. And that's just because I didn't have enough supports to properly pull the part off the print bed. So the supports were flexing rather than pulling the bit that was printed off the FEP sheet. So that's just a slicing problem, not really a problem with the printer, and a supports problem. But other than that, I can't find any real issues with this print at all. Gotta clean it up with all the supports I added, but it may print better vertically. But that would mean you'd have to put the hole in the top of his head somewhere. Anyway, and also if you print things that are tall, laying down, they take less time to print. So this whole Yoda model, and that baby Yoda, the child model, took less time than these guys did to print, just because of the orientation. They're about the same height, actually. But anyway, I'm super happy with the results of this Mars 2 Pro printer. It's a mono printer, 2K LCD screen, and all the settings for it are plug and play with the 1.7 version of Chi2 Box. And I didn't have to do anything with the settings. Just threw in my STL model, threw in supports, and slice. Pretty great. All right, let's get to my final thoughts about this printer. I think SLA printers, well, mSLA printers are pretty awesome. This thing is just growing right out of the resin vat. One thing I can say for this printer is it's got a pretty loud motor and a pretty loud fan. And every time the UV comes on, the fan loses RPM. So you can definitely tell when a layer is being written just by listening to it. As far as the filter back there, doesn't do diddly squat for the smell, at least for me. It smells exactly like my other printer. My other printer has an enclosure, so it's not open with just a trash can on top, but yeah, it smells exactly the same. So I appreciate Elegoo for trying to not poison their customers with resin fumes, but they need to do a lot better than a simple little tiny carbon filter. So this is the next morning after the print's finished, and I'm noticing that it still really smells like resin in here. And this printer's been on, idle, running after the print finished last night, and this fan's just been kicking around in there. But instead of, you know, taking the resin smell out of the air, it actually, I think, is just pushing it into the air more, just because they're a more powerful fan. And they're inadequate carbon filter back there. So it literally just, it smells pretty bad like resin in this room. So I don't know if their system kind of works. You just need to make sure the printer is powered down when it's not used. And then hopefully this and the rubber seal can keep the resin sort of in there. But yep, it smells way worse than my other printer that doesn't filter the air as much. So, just an observation. Okay, I'm trying to get a good shot where you can see this. But see that condensation-ish stuff? Out of focus. See all that condensation-ish stuff on the back of this trash can lid for the printer? That is resin. And how it got there is, I'm guessing, vapor from the top of the resin tank got pulled over into their exhaust fan. And as it got pulled over, some of it stuck to the edge of this tank. And over time, it built up this condensation. So instead of keeping this out of the air, it's literally pumping this stuff into the air. Pretty crazy. And that's down here on the edge, right where the fan sits in the tank. This was ultra the tank was filled to the max line. So that may have been a factor here, but man, that's crazy. Okay, I just tried to wipe it off and it ended up just smearing all over the place. So, great. Resin now all over the side of my tank lid thing. So this is the next day after another overnight print, and I got up at early hours in the morning and switched the printer off. And now I come out here into my workshop and there's no resin smell at all. So yeah, don't leave this thing on and running when it's not printing, because it's just pumping resin into the air. So this guy is the tallest print, and I believe that's a true torture test for a resin 3D printer. There's taller models. And this one is, besides needing some more cleanup, it's a pretty flawless model as well. I'm super happy with the results of this guy. He's got detail, and even his chest piece has the space underneath it. Needs to be painted, obviously, but all the little fine details seem to be reproduced quite well. Something you might expect from a $300 printer. But a couple of years ago, a print like this would have cost you a $3,000 printer. So mSLA printing has come a long way, I think, in terms of affordability and quality. This thing's pretty awesome. Completely solid, because I could. I don't normally print completely solid ones, but I didn't want to put a hole in this guy's head. His armor's too thick. All right, that's my first time setup and review-ish of the Elegoo Mars 2 Pro. If you want to know more about the Auto Crafter, I got some videos popping up on the screen here and over here somewhere. Go ahead and check those out, and see you later. Peace.